Now, we tend to forget when we've got a lot of things on our mind. And the reason for that is if there's a lot of things on our mind, they're little worlds or big worlds that open up that have a lot more information and context surrounding it as well. So it's like a mind map where you've got a topic and you've got a lot of branches. Now imagine 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 of them, right, in your head. That's overwhelming. And that overwhelm could lead you to forget stuff. And when I say stuff, it could just be either the next thing or people's names, or it could be a talk, whatever, right? So in order to combat this, you need to be able to find a way to create focus. Now, focus, it's an easy thing to say. It's very difficult to do because if you're used to creating all these stories in your head, if your default is creating a lot of narratives and it could be negative, it could be positive stories, whatever, you're overloading the brain essentially. Now the brain really can't get overloaded, but it could affect you with remembering things. So you need to be able to create focus. Now how do you do that? There's a number of ways. One is what I try and do is from the night before, I always write down and visualize how my next day is going to look. So if I've got, say, 3 clients on, right, I'll go client by client. Okay, what are we going to talk about this session? I usually set a bit of homework for the people to do. And I look at that and I say, okay, what are some of the questions arising from that? What sort of issues might they have? And I try and prepare mentally for that, right? So, and I do that for everything. All my clients and all, even YouTube videos that I have to write about, I try and plan and prepare for them. So if you prepare for them, then when you do get to that meeting or the task, you're already mentally there. You don't have to warm up during the task or the thing, right? You're already mentally there. So I try and prepare in advance, right? If you can't prepare in advance, then what you can do, and this is really cool, by the way, and a lot of books and research and people always talking about it, is to be in the moment. Now, what does that mean? That means that this is the only thing that exists right now. If you're watching this, this is the only thing that exists right now. Nothing else in this world exists but you watching this, right? So it's just seeing the current state of your life. Then once that finishes, then that's the next thing, right? So you're only seeing what's available to you now. The benefit of that is that you don't have all these stories in your head of, oh, what's happening in the future and I've got all these things and so on, or this is what's happened in the past, or, I almost had an accident. I'm still, my mind's still on that, right? You're focused on the now. Again, very difficult to do. It's something you have to practice, right? That's why a lot of people do meditation so they can get to the now and only focus on these things, right? I've got exercises and I'll make videos on it as well, on how you can use the memory palace as that exercise where you can train your brain to just be in the now, right? Very powerful stuff. So you can prepare from either the night before or a lot earlier, visually. So visualize what you're going to do the following day, or you can sort of be in the now, right? Which is only focusing on what you've got. Another thing, which is almost like a step next from being in the now, is looking at the one thing after, right? And I call that the next thing. So after my video now, right, I've got another client soon. So that's the only thing that exists, right? That next thing. So it's similar to being in the now, like only this exists, but I'm only going one more step down from there. The next thing, that's it, right? If I do any more, our brain can handle more than that. But if I leave it till just 1 or 2 things, then I've got greater focus than say 7 or 8 or 10 things, right? And that's way more powerful for my brain because I've got greater focus, I can put all my energy into that. I can put all my energy into this video. I can put all my energy to my next client, right? And because I've already visually prepared the night before and I've already visually prepared before my meeting, right? During the meeting, they're getting the full version of me, which is awesome, right? And so that's why I love what I do, because of the excitement that comes with it for me. I love doing it, but also I know what the challenges are for people and I know how to dig deeper in with questions and so on. So that's exciting for me because I love bringing the best out of people. So I can visualize that, right? And I can visualize certain results or certain instances. Yeah, I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to try and, see what the outcome is. I'm just going to go by these questions because I'm more interested in the data that comes from these meetings, because it's the data that we analyze as coaches and mentors that, feed back to the clients and say, look, this is what we're dealing with. Here's how to fix your thing. That's how you can look at solving sort of those memory issues, focus issues, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got any questions, feel free to comment down below. I mean, I'd love to have a chat and, try and answer your questions as well. If you've like to work together, please, I've got a link down below. I've currently got a waiting list, but you can pop yourself on there if you're interested to work with me. Happy to do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.